Hello everybody and welcome back to another Fortnite tutorials video. This time we're going to be taking a closer look at the map tab here and seeing what it is all that is here. And believe me, it's quite a lot. So initially when you come here, when you first start up the game, more than likely you're simply going to be here on the play tab and you're just going to click play now and you're just going to enjoy the game early on and not even worry about the other tabs. But eventually you're gonna have to come to this tab out of curiosity or out of just necessity. And what you're gonna find is this. You're gonna find a map with a bunch of icons on here, okay? And it's a lot simpler than it looks. So right here on the right we have pretty much your play now current main quest summary, right? It tells you what you need to do and where you need to do it. That's all that is. That little corner, that's all that is. That's not a big deal. Okay, so right here on the left, however, is the bulk of the information that you're gonna have for each of these quests, right? So right now I have this quest highlighted here. This is a Fight the Storm quest. Okay, it has a 1 power recommendation, 1 skull difficulty level. You're gonna get some hero and survivor XP for completing it. And that's what these little icons mean, right? This Fight the Storm, this another Fight the Storm, another Fight the Storm, another Fight the Storm, right? The icons are just what mission it is, right? Ride the Lightning is the little truck icon there, you know, here. This little tower looking thing, destroy the encampments. That's the type of mission that's here. This here, build the radar grid. This here is rescue survivors. This here is retrieve data. Like this pretty much is just going to, it tells you what the overarching goal is when you actually go on mission, right? Your actual objectives during that missions don't change, right? But the final goal, the completion status of that mission is what changes, and that's what these icons are letting you know. Here as well is your home base storm shield, right? And this is the Stonewood area. The game has different areas, and Stonewood is the first area that everybody starts on, and the next area is called Plankerton, and after that there's 2 more areas. And as you progress through the game, you're gonna unlock more and more of Stonewood to the point where the story will carry you over onto Plankerton, and then you do the same thing there. You complete quests until you go to the next area, getting more power, getting more gear, getting more heroes, getting more everything. Now it's important to note here that in this menu here for my home base, I have this research points option here unlocked. This is not going to be there when you first start the game. This research points, we're not going to get into it now, but just know that to unlock the research points there, you need to first unlock it on your skill tree, and then that'll unlock this research tier 1. Once you do that, you'll get this little collection option here. We're going to get into that when we go into the skills tab. Just leave it at that for now. Just know that this is earned on a per hour basis. There is a way to increase it, but that's again through the skill tree, so we're gonna leave that alone for now. You can always just once you have it, you can just collect it whenever you want. You can store a maximum of that much, and you can store a maximum of this much. Of course, you can increase these values as you play the game further. Another breakdown here of the home base menu, I guess you could call it, is the shield power level. This is pretty much just a I want to say like a progress bar on how far along you are in the defense of this area, right? You know, I'm at 5 out of 10. Each one of these levels requires you to do a mission in the home base, where you can actually invite other players in the community to help you out, because those are actually one of the more challenging missions, especially once you get later on into the game. But talking about difficulty, let's go ahead and compare some of the difficulty levels that we see here. It is pretty easy to digest as it's color coded. Gray obviously means that you are completely underpowered for it. You shouldn't even be there. It's not going to be fun. Okay, I mean, maybe if you want to farm materials, you go there and you don't want to have to deal with powerful enemies, but more than likely you don't want to even go there. The rewards are lackluster, and you should be above this point already. Green means that it's easy, but you can still find some things that may be worth it. You know, these are it's going to be very, very easy, but it's also going to not have the best rewards. I mean, every once in a while you'll find good rewards. For example, if they have a little clock here, it means that these missions will go away and be replaced with another mission. See, mission expires in 4 hours and 11 minutes. It has an extra reward. So if there's a time limit on the missions, you should probably go ahead and do them before the mission expires, because these rewards are not too bad. Same thing for the yellows. A yellow code means that it's pretty much on par with your home base power, right? And that's what this color system is in relation to, is your home base power. Let's take a quick read here. The higher your home base power, the better your heroes will be. And that's an indirect relationship. Slot survivors and purchase skill tree nodes to increase your home base power. Party up with others to increase it even further. And then it tells you 51% complete. That's 51% of the current level. So I need 49% more to go up to level 17. So the only real reason why you want to increase this is to kind of, well, this is like a general indication of your combat prowess, right? This is your combat rating. Whatever this is a loose indication of how strong you are. It's not a direct indication, but it's a pretty somewhat accurate way of judging. Okay, this player is at least this far in the game. That's what this home base power reflects. As you can see here, like this mission, for example, has a recommended power level of 19. You know, so the skull level up here is all the way up to 4 out of 5. Some really good rewards, and to be honest, I could do this mission. There's no real reason why you're not locked out of higher power missions based on your power level. It's just the game is just being nice and letting you know these guys might be a little bit tough for you if the rest of your gear and characters are around the same level as your home base power. That being said, your home base power isn't directly calculated from your hero or weapon level. It's calculated from your survivors and skill trees. Okay, and we're gonna get into that in the next episode, but a quick preview of that is pretty much right here. This is your skill trees, your research tree and your skill tree. Getting nodes, when you go on mission, you earn a skill point, and you spend a skill point to get each one of these nodes. The more nodes you have, the more experience you will get towards your home base power. And same thing for here. This is based on time. You can't earn this. You just have to wait. 54 per hour. Let's run that down to 1,000. That's about 18 hours, I think. 18 hours, and the bar will be filled, and you can collect it. So give or take, that's how much you can. So that's basically once a day. That's once a day that you can collect that. And again, each of these, I mean, these initial 4 here, they were pretty cheap, but then these down the line, as you can see right here, they cost 800. So basically you can only really get 1 node a day. I mean, if you max out your research point capacity, you could get 2 nodes in 1 day, but usually you're not gonna max that out. You're gonna, as soon as you get 800, you're gonna spend it, because why not, right? So that's pretty much gonna be it for the map. Don't get too scared if the game is telling you you're underpowered for it. Once you have heroes and gear that are above the recommended power level for this, even if your home base power is still low, your heroes and gear can carry you through that. All right, so don't be too afraid of taking on some tougher missions. It's really not that big of a deal, especially because if you're in a group of 4, everybody's, I mean, obviously it's a team game, right? So this is telling me that I'm underpowered to take this on by myself, basically. But as soon, if I were like power 10 and I was in here with a couple of other power 13s or 14s or whatever, we could take on this mission. It'll be tough for sure, you know, but we could take it on because our combined home base power level is calculated in a weird way. I'm not really too sure, but our combined power level will more than likely be above the recommended 19. So it should be a it'll be a struggle, but it can be done. You don't have to wait until you're 19 or 15 or 9 to go into these missions if you're under the recommended power level. That's gonna be it for the map tab. Next up, we're gonna take a closer look here at the heroes tab. We're gonna see what all of this means and how we came to the point where we are, as well as the relationship that the hero tab has with some of the other tabs. The map tab, again, it has some relationship in terms of the power ratings with the skills tab and the squads tab, but it's not that, you know, it's a pretty simple relationship. Once we get into the squads tab and skills tab, that'll be laid out very easily. But other than that, the map tab is only other relationship is with the play tab. So thanks for watching, and we'll catch you in the next one.